Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today it is time for an update on my Milwaukee M4 electric screwdriver. It sounds a lot more serious when I say it's time for an update. I've made a couple upgrades and I wanted to give you guys an update on how it's performing, how it's doing out here at in a new environment. Out here, the driver is in the cold a lot more often than it was back in Utah. Just a different work flow and things like that. This driver is spent a little bit more time in my bag, which is fine because it's mine and it's an investment I've made to a tool I really appreciate. But as you can tell, I've already made a couple of changes to this. If you're astute and you watched my previous video, if not, you can go back here to see the unboxing on this. I did some testing, some general review things, and talked about the product. And the first thing I have to mention is the most obvious one right here at the end. It's kind of embarrassing. I said, oh man, this is a really good tip. I was excited about it, but I was wrong and I misremembered. So the tip that comes with this driver is fine. It works good. The metal, it's tough enough and things like that, but for some reason it won't hold a magnetic charge. So I have one of those little drill bit magnetizers, and it works great on most, but for some reason it wouldn't hold a charge very long on the one that came with this driver. So I went to the foremost authority on all things testing and all things being tested, Project Farms. If you haven't seen that YouTube channel, I'll also link him up in the ear and the eye. There's going to be a whole bunch of links there. A lot of this is going to be references to products and videos. He has a video exclusively on driver bits, and in his video he was testing just a little 1-inch extension. I, for my job, need a 2-inch extension plus the whatever you want to call this one, this extension bit as well, the quick change extension. So between these two are what I need, because I often am changing out the bit, or I also need the reach outside of what a 1-inch bit might get out of here. So I do need that little bit more from these guys. So what I've got here is, this is the Milwaukee Shockwave Impact. I actually bought the whole kit. In Project Farm's video, he links to where you can buy just the little bit, and it's not even a 2-inch bit like this, it's a couple of 1-inch ones. They're not great. It looks like the only ones that were available were used, and that's probably because of his video talking about the quality of these. It made more sense to just buy this whole kit. I didn't want a 1-inch one, I wanted a whole bunch, and it comes with all of the little screwdriver bits you might need. We got star bits, we got Phillips, we got flathead. Actually, no, we don't have any flathead, but we do have right here in the case, there's one that stands out because that is the one that came with my drill. You can see they're definitely a little bit different. This one says it's impact ready. It's the, what is this series called? The Shockwave Impact Duty. I don't really need it for impact. Most of my stuff is actually very low torque. But what I needed more than anything, and he actually mentioned it in his video review, is that the bit held onto the screw very well. And that's something that's very important. I don't want to strip screws because I only have a finite amount of screws. And the screws I work with tend to be a little small. And so I need something that's going to be precise and do the job I need. Exactly. And be tough, because sometimes I can't see in the hole that I'm having to stick it in. I'm having to go by feel. I'm doing that because this is literally the motion I make. I'll stick it in there and then I'll just kind of twist until I can hear a click of it sliding into the slot. And I don't want there to be slop. If there's slop, I might click and think I'm in there and then start drilling and strip the screw, strip the head on a screw, and that's just gonna ruin my day and make everything a lot more difficult. Having the right bit is paramount for me in my line of work. This right here is the bit that I decided to go with. He did have other ones that performed very well, but I decided to go with the Milwaukee bit. And then number 2 thing that needs to be upgraded is this guy. This is one I got maybe 10 years ago when I was doing not quite construction, maybe you'd call it finish construction. I was installing drapes in hotels. And this is the bit I bought for that, where I'd throw, I had a drill bit and then I'd have screws that I'd throw on this guy. So this was a useful tool at the time. It is definitely beat up and it is past its heyday. And it's lost its magnetism. It comes out of this thing way too easy. Yeah, there's a magnet in there, but I feel like not much. And of course, Project Farms comes to the rescue with a whole video on bit holders. So it's the best bit holders came to the rescue, and there are actually a lot of really good ones out there, like Hilti and a couple of no-name brands I think did very well. But the one that stood out to me is a locking one. So typically when I see the locking ones, they're too big. A typical locking chuck would, or a bit holder, is quite bulky and it can't fit into the narrow tight spaces that I need to. And then I saw this guy and I was like, oh my gosh, Project Farms does it again. I can have a locking bit. I was just gonna find the one that was had the strongest magnetism. He did a test to see which one was the strongest, and man, this thing is not wanting me to open it. You gotta destroy it. And he did one on, you know, he did the testing the magnetism, but then this one has a locking chuck, and you can see right here, it pulls out just like that. It's super slim, low profile. It's almost the exact same, if not the same as this one here. It's slightly bigger than this one here. So I imagine this is gonna work, but it goes in and locks it in there. Look at that. And to release, you just pull back where this arrow is, and then the screw or the driver bit, whatever, comes right out. Super easy, locked in. So one problem I've actually had is I'll reach into a dark hole where I know there's a screw at the back side of it, you know, try and pull a screw out, great, that's fine. Go to put the screw back in after, and then I pull my drill out. Oh man, this is cool. I pull my drill out and it's just the bit holder and a no bit, and I'm like, oh no! So I have to like go back in there and like wiggle it just right to get the bit to break loose and come back out with the holder. So now this is a locking bit holder that's not gonna let it go as long as you put it in right. So that's one thing I'm already noticing is it'll feel like it's in there, but it's not. That's actually a pretty good magnet on its own. But yeah. So now it's locked in, low profile. That is the biggest selling point for me, for my job, is I need something low profile that's gonna reach in there and get the job done. I needed a bit that isn't going to slip. So these are the two things that I'm gonna have linked in the description that you need to get for yourself. If you need the right tool for the job, and buy once, cry once is a phrase you like to use, these aren't that expensive. All right, and here we are on Amazon. As you can see, the bit holder itself, $9. Granted, it's 30% off. So even when it's full price at $13, almost, so $12.80, almost $13, that's a really great deal. It's really nice. I'm excited about it. And then our Milwaukee set here, we have the Automotive Shockwave 22 piece kit here. It's a good deal. It's right now it's $27 at 58% off. Typically $65, which is crazy. I don't believe that. Let's look at our price history here on Honey. All right, so we go out to 120 days and you can see, yeah, it was listed for $40 like 3 months ago, but honestly, $27 is the average. They'll say, hey, it's on sale, you know, raise the price and then put it on sale. That's what a lot of people will do, which is fine, do what you do, but it's $27. When I saw that 65, I was like, no, it's never been that much. They want you to think you're getting a great deal, but honestly, it is a great product and it's worth it. The bits hold on really well. If you don't believe me, and you don't have to, go to Project Farms video. I linked it here to the one on the bits as well as the one on the bit holders, and you can see for yourself. He said it himself that, hey, you know what, this one did not slip, have any slop, and then even when he tested it, the tips didn't chip, didn't fray, didn't bend, didn't flex when he really put them to work, and I'm never gonna make them work that hard. But these guys are what you need. And these are primed, so you can get them on your 2-3 day shipping depending on where you live. Looks like I can get this on Tuesday, and the other one, it'll be also Wednesday, so a day later than that, so 2-3 day shipping. And that is my update. No real update on the driver itself. It's running great. The batteries last forever. I think I replace it every other week. I swap out the batteries, and most of the time it's not even dead. I think I had one time where I was at the end of 2 weeks and I was down to 1 bar, and I was like, oh no, I'm on my last bar. This has 4 little LEDs to kind of give you an idea of what the battery life is at. And so I got it down to 1, but it's never actually died on me yet. So still holding up great, replacing it every other week. And yeah, if you have questions about this guy, leave it in the comments below. If you have suggestions for future videos, I'd be happy to hear those. If you'd like to help support this channel, use those links down in the description. I am an Amazon affiliate, so using those links do help to support this channel with no additional cost to you. Also, please consider subscribing if you think I've earned it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.